Welcome to the Deep Dive, the place where we cut through the noise and get straight to the heart of what truly matters. Today we're embarking on an extraordinary journey, one that asks perhaps life's biggest questions. Does every single life have a profound purpose? And how are we all, in ways we can barely imagine, incredibly connected?
That's right. Our listeners share with us a beautiful and really poignant piece of literature today.
Yeah.
Powerful excerpts from Mitch Albom's novel, The Five People You Meet in Heaven. This isn't just a story. It's an exploration through the final moments and afterlife of a man named Eddie. And it reveals these profound, sometimes hidden threads that weave through every single existence.
Okay, let's unpack this. Our mission for this deep dive is to not just recount Eddie's journey through heaven, but to, extract the core insights from his five pivotal encounters. We want to understand how these moments illuminate the true meaning of his time on Earth, and crucially, what those revelations might mean for you, our listener, in your own life.
Exactly. We'll be looking at how seemingly random events are maybe anything but random, how sacrifice can truly define us, the transformative power of forgiveness, the enduring nature of love, and ultimately the surprising truth about our individual and collective purpose. It's a story that really challenges assumptions and invites you to look at your own life with entirely fresh eyes.
Our story opens at Ruby Pier, a bustling amusement park by a great gray ocean, where our protagonist, Eddie, he's an 83-year-old maintenance man spending his final hour. He's described as a man who carries the marks of a full, if not always easy, life, gruff exterior, a war-wounded knee, a faded army tattoo. But despite this kind of hardened appearance, there's a telling detail. The children at the pier trust him. They're drawn to him. What does this immediate characterization tell us about Eddie, even before his journey really begins?
Well, it immediately sets up the central paradox of Eddie's life, doesn't it? Here's a man who feels his life has been nothing but wasted years, stuck at a place he never wanted to be. Yet children, often the purest judges of character, they gravitate towards him. It hints at an underlying goodness, a protective instinct that maybe even he doesn't fully recognize yet. His gruffness seems like a shield, but his essence is truly dedicated to safety.
And his dedication is just undeniable. It's his 83rd birthday, no celebration, just work. He's constantly listening for trouble in the rides. This isn't just a job for him, is it?
Not at all. He checks every attraction daily, from the tilt-a-whirl to the pipeline plunge, everything. He even rides the coaster weekly, just to ensure its safety himself. He has this almost uncanny ability to hear trouble in the mechanical spits and stutters of the rides. It's a level of care that goes far beyond just a paycheck. It's this deep-seated commitment to the well-being of the park's visitors.
Right. Okay, here's where it gets truly pivotal. His last act on Earth is one of desperate heroism. Tell us what happens at Freddy's Freefall.
Okay, so a cart on this new tower drop ride malfunctions. It tilts dangerously with 4 passengers inside, including a small girl. They're hanging by a safety bar. Eddie just springs into action. He realizes a cable snapped because a pulley was locked, jammed by a small object which we later find out was a lost car key. His final words are a desperate "get back" as he lunges towards the little girl, thinking she's about to be crushed by the falling cart.
And then, after that stunning impact and blinding flash of light, his immediate experience of death is, well, surprisingly serene, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's the very first thing that preoccupies Eddie's thoughts?
It's remarkably peaceful. Yeah. He sees nothing of the wreckage, only the sky rapidly changing colors around him, pumpkin, turquoise, lime. And he feels no pain, no worry, no sadness, just this profound calm. His mind, though, immediately goes back to that little girl. Did I save her? Did she live? It's such a powerful echo of his final selfless act, even in that transition to death.
Then he lands back at Ruby Pier, but it's not the one he knew. He's back in the park of his childhood, maybe 75 years ago, new, freshly scrubbed. His body feels wonderful, limber, no pain. He can even run. What do you make of this return, this familiar yet utterly transformed past?
It's not just nostalgia, I think. This return to the Ruby Pier of his youth, all pristine and free of his old age's pains. It feels like the universe's way of preparing him. It sort of unburdens him physically, allows him to approach his past with an open mind, without the weight of his chronic pain or that cynicism he built up over decades. It's a reset, setting the stage for a different kind of understanding and opportunity to see his life through new eyes.
So in this pristine, silent Ruby Pier, Eddie meets the first of his 5 people. Joseph Korvelschik, known as the Blue Man. He's described as this stooped, middle-aged barker from the sideshow, his skin grotesquely blue from years of self-medication. Eddie barely knew him in life. What does this seemingly random first encounter immediately teach Eddie and maybe us about the nature of heaven?
Well, the Blue Man reveals that heaven isn't just a paradise of clouds like you might imagine. He says it has many steps, and its primary purpose is for understanding your life on earth. He tells Eddie, there are 5 people you meet in heaven. Each of us was in your life for a reason, for understanding your life on earth. It's a really profound redefinition of the afterlife. Not just a reward, but more like a school, a place where the puzzle pieces of your existence finally fit together.
In the Blue Man's own story, it's tragic. A nervous child, bullied, self-medicating with silver nitrate, which turns his skin blue, making him a commodity in carnivals. But it's his death that connects him so indelibly to Eddie. How does this seemingly minor event reveal the truth of their intertwined lives?
Right. The Blue Man recounts that while driving, he swerved to avoid a baseball and a boy who darted into the street. The jolt, the shock, caused his fatal heart attack. And the boy. It was 7-year-old Eddie chasing his brand new birthday baseball, a completely innocent moment from Eddie's childhood. Yet it had these fatal consequences for another person.
And this leads us straight to the very first, the foundational lesson for Eddie. What is it? Why is it so vital for understanding his life, and maybe our own lives too?
The profound truth is revealed, that there are no random acts, that we are all connected, that you can no more separate one life from another than you can separate a breeze from the wind. And this isn't just some philosophical idea. It's a call to really reevaluate every seemingly minor interaction in your own life. Think about it. That brief moment with a stranger, that passing comment, the ripple effect might be far larger than you could ever imagine. Eddie lived because the Blue Man died.
Eddie is understandably skeptical, right, even angry, thinking it's unfair that he's somehow responsible. But what truth does the Blue Man offer about fairness and this intricate web of connection?
The Blue Man calmly tells him, fairness does not govern life and death. If it did, no good person would ever die young. He clarifies that strangers are just family you have yet to come to know, emphasizing that this intricate web of connection is just inherent, part of existence. It's not a matter of cosmic justice exactly. It's a lesson that challenges our need for a clear, logical reason for everything that happens.
The Blue Man then transforms, his blue skin becoming caramel smooth. What's the lasting impact of this first encounter for Eddie and for us, particularly this idea of interconnectedness?
That physical transformation, I think it symbolizes the peace that comes with understanding and acceptance. For Eddie, it's the dawning realization that his life, far from being isolated, has always been intertwined with others, even people he didn't know. It starts to chip away at his feeling of being alone and wasted, offering that first glimpse that maybe his life did matter, even in ways he couldn't comprehend. And it's a powerful invitation for you, the listener, to consider the silent, unseen connections that shape your own story every single day.
Right. With the weight of this first revelation settling in, Eddie is suddenly abruptly whisked away. The setting dramatically shifts to a war-torn landscape, instantly recognizable from his worst nightmares. His body once again feels strong, but his muscles are tight as piano wire. It's like the trauma itself has resurfaced physically. What does this environment and his physical state immediately signal?
This visceral return to his wartime past, it absolutely signals that the next lesson is going to confront his deepest traumas. The physical sensation, that tightness, it indicates he's being prepared not just to remember, but to feel the experiences again, to fully engage with the pain and its purpose, but unburdened by the physical limits of his old age. He's there to face a truth that really shaped him.
And the person he meets, standing right there amidst this devastation, is none other than his captain, his commanding officer from the war. A lifetime military man, the captain confirms Eddie is dead, and he's his second person. The captain was known for a particular promise to his men. No one gets left behind. How does this promise frame the dramatic backstory that unfolds?
It's completely central to their shared experience. The story flashes back to their capture in the Philippines, their brutal internment, the terrible conditions, and their desperate escape. The captain's promise, "no one gets left behind," isn't just a slogan. It's a code that will ultimately reveal a profound and really painful secret about his actions.
Their escape plan is daring. It even features Eddie's surprising skill, his childhood juggling abilities, learned right there at Ruby Pier. How did this unexpected talent play a role, and what happens next?
Eddie uses rocks, juggling them to distract the guards. It creates this crucial diversion. On the captain's count, they attack, killing the guards, securing their freedom. But amidst the chaos of the burning village, Eddie, convinced he sees a child in a hut, tries to rush back into the flames. And this is where the captain makes his stunning confession.
The captain reveals that he was the one who shot Eddie in the leg during their escape, the injury that plagued Eddie for the rest of his life. Eddie, consumed by rage, lunges at him. Understandably, but why? What was the captain's heartbreaking reason for doing that?
The captain explains it plainly. It was to save Eddie's life. Because we would have lost you in that fire. You would have died, and it wasn't your time. Eddie, in that moment of panic and maybe delusion, was trying to re-enter a burning hut. Lost. The captain's action, though brutal, was an immediate, necessary sacrifice to prevent a greater tragedy, to keep his promise.
This act, though, wow! Though initially perceived as a betrayal by Eddie, it leads to an even deeper revelation about sacrifice. The captain didn't just save Eddie's life, he made the ultimate sacrifice himself.
Exactly. After getting Eddie and the others to a transport vehicle, the captain steps out to clear a gate and steps on a landmine. Explodes instantly. He died ensuring his men's escape, fulfilling his promise not to leave anyone behind right to the very end. His personal wish for heaven, fittingly, was to see a world without a war.
So, what's the second profound lesson Eddie learns from this tragic yet deeply purposeful act of his captain?
The captain delivers it directly, doesn't he? Sacrifice is a part of life. It's supposed to be. It's not something to regret. It's something to aspire to. He adds, sometimes when you sacrifice something precious, you're not really losing it. You're just passing it on to someone else. This really challenges our usual notion of personal loss, doesn't it? It urges us to see sacrifice not just as a burden, but as a transformative act, a gift passed on that ensures another's future. It asks you to consider the silent sacrifices that have shaped your own life, maybe sacrifices you weren't even aware of.
Eddie finally forgives the captain, and the war-torn landscape transforms into this beautiful, unspoiled paradise, reflecting the captain's deepest wish. What does this metamorphosis tell us about the power of acceptance in this journey through heaven?
The landscape literally shifting like that to a world without a war, it really underscores that forgiveness and acceptance aren't just emotional acts. They seem fundamental to finding peace. It's about letting go of the anger, the what-ifs, the things that keep us tethered to past suffering. For Eddie, it's a release. It allows him to integrate this incredibly painful memory, not just as a wound, but as a foundational act of love and protection from his captain.
Okay. From the captain's vision of peace, Eddie is transported again. This time, it's a stark, snowy mountain landscape with a familiar sight, a diner. His body now shows more signs of his former self, his midsection looser, flabbier, his left knee throbbing again. It's as if he's regressing, becoming the man he was on Earth, scars and fat and all. What's the significance of this physical return to his earthly self?
It seems to highlight that heaven isn't about escaping who you were, but about confronting it fully, all of it. As he prepares to face the third person, the physical return to his aging, pain self is symbolic. He's brought back to the very body that carried his earthly burdens, including the emotional baggage he still holds, especially concerning his relationship with his father.
Inside the diner, amidst people from different decades, he sees a hunched-over man smoking a cigar. It's his father. Eddie screams, "Dad!" with this desperation born of years of unspoken anger and longing. But his father is oblivious, just sits there. What does this profound moment of unseen longing tell us about the deep-seated issues Eddie needs to confront?
Oh, it's the raw agony of an unresolved relationship, isn't it? Eddie spent his life resentful, feeling unloved, unacknowledged by his stoic, often harsh father. To see him now, right there, within reach but still beyond communication, such a powerful visual metaphor for the emotional distance that plagued their lives. It sets the stage for a lesson that you might resonate with. The enduring weight of unspoken family conflicts, the things left unsaid.
The woman he meets, who reveals herself as Ruby, is critical to understanding the complexities of Eddie's relationship with his father. Who is Ruby, and how does her own tragic story intertwine with Ruby Pier, the place Eddie spent his life trying to escape?
Ruby was a waitress who married Emile, a wealthy, adventurous man. As this grand gesture of love, Emile built Ruby Pier for her. He named it after her, even painted her face on the entrance. But the pier tragically burned down Independence Day, careless workers destroying Emile's fortune and crushing his spirit. Ruby carried the wish to heaven that Emile had never built that place, because it ultimately consumed him.
And how does Ruby, a woman Eddie never even knew in life, become so intimately connected to his father's story?
Ruby reveals this hidden connection. Her husband, Emile, actually shared a hospital room with Eddie's father when his father died of pneumonia. She overheard Eddie's mother's deep grief and witnessed his father's last moments. It gave her this unseen, intimate window into Eddie's family history and the painful silence surrounding his father's death.
But it's the hidden, shameful story of Eddie's father that Ruby reveals that truly changes Eddie's perspective. What did his father do that led to his death, an act he never spoke of?
Right, the flashback shows Eddie's father discovering Mickey Shea, a family friend, assaulting Eddie's mother. His father chased Mickey to the pier, intending to hurt him, but instead he ended up saving Mickey from drowning, pulled him out of the water. Exhausted and weakened, already 56, his father lay on the beach for hours, contracting the pneumonia that eventually killed him. And he never spoke of that night, consumed by shame, maybe loyalty, maybe both. This raises such an important question for all of us. What's the lesson here about anger and forgiveness, especially when it comes to the complicated ties of family?
Ruby offers a profound truth. Holding anger is a poison. It eats you from inside. We think that hating is a weapon that attacks the person who harmed us. But hatred is a curved blade, and the harm we do to ourselves.
Wow, that's powerful. It isn't just about letting go of resentment towards others, it's fundamentally about liberating yourself.
Hmm.
Eddie learns that despite his father's flaws, the neglect, the violence, the silence, his father was also fiercely loyal and ultimately saved a friend's life, even at the cost of his own.
Exactly. And Eddie's silent confrontation with his father whispering, "It's fixed." After all those years holding on to anger, I feel like this massive emotional release. What does this mean for him as he moves forward in his journey? It's a pivotal moment of catharsis, for sure. By whispering, "It's fixed," Eddie isn't just forgiving his father. He's also forgiving himself, maybe, for the anger he carried for so long. It signifies this profound emotional release, allowing him to finally let go of the bitterness that had poisoned his life and kept him trapped in the past. He finally accepts his father's complex legacy, understanding the silent burdens his father also carried. With the burden of his father's legacy beginning to lift, Eddie's journey takes a really poignant turn. From that stark diner, he's gently guided into a vibrant series of wedding celebrations from different cultures. He still feels the signs of aging, thinner skin, backaches, a stiffer bad leg, his physical self mirroring the passage of time. But amidst the joyous scenes, one figure takes his breath away. Who is she?
It's Marguerite, his beloved wife, looking young and radiant like she was in her 20s. Eddie, just utterly overwhelmed by seeing her again like this in her youth, he immediately drops to his knees. It's a reunion that speaks to the deepest part of his soul, a love he never truly recovered from losing.
Their reunion? It's bittersweet, but it offers Eddie a chance to revisit their entire love story. From their wedding in a Chinese restaurant to the hardships they faced. Describe the essence of their love and the tragedy that shadowed it.
Theirs was described as a grateful, deep, but quiet love. Not flashy, but profound. We see their journey. The terrible accident where a bottle dropped by teenagers from an overpass struck Marguerite's car. It led to months of bed rest, a serious liver injury, and the devastating loss of their plans for adoption. This created unspoken blame, quiet years, a gradual healing, and then eventually her battle with a brain tumor and her death at just 47. A life cut tragically short, leaving Eddie utterly heartbroken.
Eddie expresses his anger, his feeling that she left him too soon, that he lost everything, that his life ended when hers did. But Marguerite offers a profound lesson about lost love that challenges our very understanding of grief. What does she teach him?
Marguerite offers this incredibly beautiful and enduring truth. Lost love is still love, Eddie. It takes a different form, that's all. She says you can't see their smile or bring them food or tousle their hair or move them around a dance floor. But when those senses weaken, another heightens: memory. Memory becomes your partner. You nurture it, you hold it, you dance with it. Life has to end, she tells him. Love doesn't. Wow. It reframes grief not as an end to love, but a transformation, inviting you to find new ways to cherish and connect with those you've lost.
She then invites him to dance in their wedding room, and in this deeply intimate gesture, even changes her appearance to how she looked at the end of her life. What does this tell us about the depth of their connection and Eddie's acceptance of her in all forms?
It speaks volumes about the absolute depth of their love. Eddie wants to stay, right? He confesses he doesn't want to go on without her. Marguerite's willingness to appear as she was at the end, illness and all, and Eddie's continued devotion to her in that form. It shows his love transcended physical appearance and the pain of her illness. It's a powerful testament to loving the whole person, accepting all stages of life and death, finding beauty even in the hardest memories. It's about a bond that truly goes beyond the physical.
After Marguerite's departure, Eddie finds himself in a pure white void, empty space. But he's haunted by this high-pitched squealing noise from his nightmares. His body is near its end, bearing liver spots, yellowish fingernails, shingles. He's holding his cane again, signifying his complete return to his final earthly state. This chilling sound, he realizes, is the cacophony of children's voices. Where does this guide him next?
He's drawn towards a riverbank where a young girl is playing with other children. This is Tala, an Asian girl, maybe 5 or 6 years old. She looks at him with these innocent eyes and delivers the ultimate shocking revelation that shatters his deepest fear, the secret he's carried for decades.
What is that devastating truth?
Tala simply says, "You burn me. You make me fire."
Yeah.
She was the shadow Eddie saw in the burning hut in the Philippines, the one he frantically tried to save but unknowingly caused her death with his flamethrower during his escape. This is the moment his greatest guilt, the source of all those nightmares, is finally laid bare.
Oh my goodness, this is truly the ultimate aha moment for Eddie, and maybe for us, our listener too. His deepest fear, his darkest secret finally revealed. What happens as he processes this overwhelming guilt?
Eddie just collapses, weeping, howling in anguish, confessing, "I killed you." The darkness that had shadowed him for so many years is finally exposed. But Tala, with his incredible innocent compassion, holds out a stone and asks him to wash me. And as he rubs the stone on her horribly burned skin, the scars miraculously peel away, and she is restored to her innocent, healthy self. It's such a powerful act of cleansing and redemption, not just for her, but maybe even more so for him.
Tala then gives Eddie the final, most crucial lesson about his life. He felt his life was a waste, right? Just Eddie maintenance at a rundown pier. But what was his true purpose, the meaning behind all those years?
Tala reveals his profound, overarching purpose. Children. She tells him, "You keep them safe. You make good for me." She clarifies that his job as Eddie maintenance at Ruby Pier was exactly where he was supposed to be. His entire existence, the seemingly mundane tasks, the daily diligence, it all revolved around preventing harm and ensuring the safety of countless children. It's a powerful redefinition of purpose, isn't it? It teaches us to look beyond our immediate circumstances, maybe beyond job titles, for meaning.
And what about that very first question Eddie had when he arrived in heaven? Did he save the little girl at Freddy's Freefall? What's Tala's final surprising answer?
Tala shakes her head. "No pull." Then she corrects him. "Push her legs. No pull. You push. Big thing fall. You keep her safe." She reveals that it was her hands he felt in his last moments, guiding him to heaven, keeping him safe as the cart fell. The one he accidentally harmed became his unlikely savior, bringing his whole journey full circle.
Wow. That is the profound, interconnected truth. Tala, the one he accidentally harmed, became his guide to salvation. What is the ultimate vision Eddie experiences as his journey concludes?
The river rises quickly, encompassing him, washing away all the pain, all the weariness. He emerges in this brilliant light, floating above a pier filled with thousands and thousands of people, children from the past and the present, all there because of the simple, mundane things Eddie had done in his life, the accidents he had prevented, the rides he had kept safe, the unnoticed turns he had effected every day. End quote. And Marguerite is waiting for him on the Ferris wheel, arms extended, the thousands of voices meld into one single word: home. It's just this breathtaking vision of the unseen impact his life had, a testament to the quiet hero he truly was without ever knowing it. Eddie's journey, his 5 encounters, they teach us that every life, no matter how ordinary it seems on the surface, it's a tapestry woven with countless threads of connection, sacrifice, forgiveness, and love. It's a really powerful reminder that our actions, big or small, ripple through the lives of others in ways we can't always foresee. It invites you to consider the invisible architecture of your own life.
So, what does this all mean for you right now, listening to this? Perhaps it invites you to reflect on your own Eddie maintenance moments, those seemingly mundane tasks or interactions, the things that might be shaping the world and other lives in quiet but profound ways. What unnoticed turns have you affected today?
Yeah, think about the balance of it all. How one life's end can create space for another's beginning, and how every encounter, every relationship really holds a lesson waiting to be understood if only we allow ourselves to truly see it.
Indeed. Because as we've seen, stories don't just sit by themselves, do they? They meet at corners, they cover one another completely, and in the end, the world is full of stories. But the stories are all one. What part of that one universal story are you living right now? And who might you be unknowingly connected to? Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the extraordinary ordinary. Until next time, keep digging, keep learning, and keep connecting.